It is my honor and privilege to welcome you to the marriage of my beloved friends, Heather Cedarholm and Tom Corcoran. Thank you for joining us on this very special day in this very special place. Heather and Tom met on this field 8 years ago. Tom asked Heather to marry him here 3 years ago. And today we return to pay tribute to the love, devotion, and care that they have poured into this beautiful relationship, and to unite them in marriage with the blessings of those closest to them. Heather and Tom create loving communities around them wherever they go. Heather and Tom, I ask you to look out at all those who've joined us today. I ask the audience, if you know Heather or Tom from high school, to please wave your hands. If you know the couple from college, I ask you to please raise your hand. If you are part of their loving family, I ask you to please give us a wave. If you've had the privilege of working with Heather or Tom in their bright and aspiring careers, please wave your hand. And if you are friends of this beautiful bride and groom in other parts of their life, please raise your hand. Thank you so much, and I ask you to all sit as we continue this ceremony. Today, these communities come together, and together we will perform a ceremony that honors these different worlds, bringing in friends, families, to recite poems, sing songs, and guide us in ceremony. We begin with a reading by friend of the bride, Ashleigh Leach.
A reading from the prophet by Khalil Gibran. You were born together, and together you shall be forevermore. You shall be together when white winds of death scatter your days. Aye, you shall be together even in the silent memory of God. But let there be spaces in your togetherness, and let the winds of the heavens dance between you. Love one another, but make not a bond of love. Let it rather be a moving sea between the shores of your souls. Fill each other's cup, but drink not from one cup. Give one another of your bread, but eat not from the same loaf. Sing and dance together and be joyous. But let each one of you also be alone, even as the strings of a lute are alone, though they quiver with the same music. Give your hearts, but not into each other's keeping, for only the hand of life can contain your hearts. And stand together, yet not too near each other, for the pillars of the temple stand apart, and the oak tree and the cypress grow not in each other's shadow.
You are my only, you are my treasure. I'd give you my whole thing, even if you don't want. Love is my only, love is my treasure. Please close to me more, and don't leave me alone. だけど君は僕の前では上手に笑わない止まない雨に打たれても消えやしない君へのメロディー かないたとえ喉を引いても君だけを抱きしめて開かれた溢れるまま二人をきっと夢を見てる目を覚ませばまた愛し合えるいつまでも離さないたとえ君を傷つけてもいつまでもそばにいてこの世界が終われるまで
A reading by Carl Sagan. The size and age of the cosmos are beyond what our minds can easily comprehend. Lost somewhere between its immensity and eternity lies our tiny planetary home. Our planet is so astonishing, packed full of mountains, deserts, seas, all the plants and animals, glorious wonders we can share. On the earth walks mankind with all its faults to bear, yet ever so exquisite with so much love and moral depth. May we remain grateful every day on earth we live for the brief but wondrous opportunity that all of life is. Although mankind is faulty, we continue to strive. The sum of all thinking, all our accomplishments, is love. From within one of the billions of species to walk upon this tiny speck in the universe, we find two imperfect people who want to share their lives, living it as one. May this marriage take two fractional lives and make those fractional lives a whole. May these partners build a better world for the next generation to come. May this union bring a new light to the sunshine, a new fragrance to the flowers, a new beauty to the earth, and a new mystery to life.
Please join us in singing the refrain part of All You Need Is Love. It's on the back of your program. There's nothing you can say that can't be done. There's nothing you can sing that can't be sung. Nothing you can say, but you can learn how to play the game. It's easy. There's nothing you can make that can't be made. No one you can save that can't be saved. Nothing you can do, but you can learn how to be you in time. It's easy. All you need is love. All you need is love. All you need is love. Love is all you need. There's nothing you can know that isn't known. Nothing you can see that isn't shown. Know where you can be that isn't where you're meant to be. It's easy. All you need is love. All you need is love. All you need is love. Love is all you need. All you need is love. All you need is love. All you need is love. Love is all you need.
From Think Like a Tree by Karen Tragg. Soak up the sun. Affirm life's magic. Be graceful in the wind. Stand tall after a storm. Feel refreshed after it rains. Grow strong without notice. Be prepared for each season. Provide shelter to strangers. Hang tough through a cold spell. Emerge renewed at the first signs of spring. Stay deeply rooted while reaching for the sky. Be still long enough to hear your own leaves rustling.
Thank you to all the readers and singers. Each spoke to the commitment and beauty that Heather and Tom have brought to their relationship. And now we have Tom Corcoran singing.
I just might need to keep an eye on physics. Usually every time I sing, he just starts running the opposite direction. So hopefully this doesn't happen.
Going wild and free, all I want is you to be my sweet honeybee. And if I was a tree growing tall and green, all I'd want is you to shade me and be my leaves. If I was a flower growing wild and free, all I'd want is you to be my sweet honeybee. And if I was a tree growing tall and green, all I'd want is you to shade me and be my leaves. All I want is you, will you be my bride? Take me by the hand and stand by my side. All I want is you, will you stay with me? Hold me in your arms and sway me like the sea. If you were a river in the mountains tall, the rumble of your water would be my call. If you were the winter, I know I'd be the snow, just as long as you were with me when the cold winds blow. All I want is you, will you be my bride? Take me by the hand and stand by my side. All I want is you, will you stay with me? Hold me in your arms and sway me like the sea. If you were a wink, I'd be a nod. If you were a sea, well, I'd be a pod. If you were the floor, I'd want to be the rug. And if you were a kiss, I know I'd be a hug. All I want is you, will you be my bride? Take me by the hand and stand by my side. All I want is you, will you stay with me? Hold me in your arms and sway me like the sea. If you were a wood, I'd be the fire. If you were the love, I'd be the desire. If you were a castle, I'd be your moat. And if you were the ocean, I'd learn to float. All I want is you, will you be my bride? Take me by the hand and stand by my side. All I want is you, will you stay with me? Hold me in your arms and sway me like the sea.
So every reading and song sort of reflected on a lot of what Heather and Tom have gone through throughout the relationship. Khalil Gibran's writing reminded us that the oak tree and cypress grow not in each other's shadow. That to be strong together, we must be strong apart. That the pursuit of our own dreams, ambitions, and happiness grows through loving support. Heather and Tom have always understood this. Their paths have converged and diverged in these past years across campuses, states, countries, and careers. And as they grew as individuals, apart from each other at times, they always were together in mind and spirit. For the amazing beauty of this relationship, now and in the future, is that you have found a way to bring out the best in each other, honor your dreams, and grow together even as you grow yourself. Through both hard and happy times, you understood the life desires that you had for yourself and each other. May you continue to grow and support each other and love each other as you ever have. Aki read from Carl Sagan, who wishes that these partners build a better world for the next generation to come. Heather and Tom's relationship and marriage is a gift to the communities that have the rare privilege of having two such outstanding citizens working together. From working day in and day out to improve our Minnesota cities and communities, to inspiring future engineers, rocket scientists, and dreamers, Heather and Tom serve and better the places and the people they work with. And as you move forward in your lives, you will continue to improve and inspire the lives around you, from small to big communities. They've already brought their families together, brightened their lives, spending holidays together, sharing food, games, and cheer. May your love continue to grace your communities and families for years to come. Your love is so very inspiring and humbling, and it took both faith and courage to build. It took courage to pick up the phone and call a handsome stranger. It took faith in each other to begin a long-distance relationship the day before you left for separate colleges. It took courage to pour your souls out into notebooks they exchanged when you saw each other. It took faith in each other to decide to live across oceans for 2 years. And it took courage to take the adorable creature Physics into your home and care for him. He mirrors both of your fun and adventurous spirits. Your marriage will, of course, not be all fun and frisbee games, but the gift you bring to each other and this marriage is a commitment so deep and a love so strong that your trials face a formidable foe. May your love touch all of those around you, and may your commitment guide and support you through the joyous days to come. Tim, I now ask you to bring forward the rings. Heather and Tom, please offer these rings to each other in full faith and love, sealing your commitment to each other and honoring the symbol of marriage that binds you together now and forever. And now we move to the vows. Heather and Tom have written their own vows. Heather, I will give you and ask you to read yours first.
I'm not going to try to top Tom singing, so bear with me. Tom, as you know, I hadn't actually written these vows until last night. Some of the girls know that too. But I realized it wasn't because I didn't know what I wanted to say. Actually, I realized we've been saying them for a long time. In notebooks, emails, Facebook messages, AOL Instant Messenger, and luckily more often now in person. I love you for so many reasons. You make me laugh, feel confident, never feel self-conscious, and I always have fun with you. And physics. I remember one of my early journal entries in the notebooks. We exchanged. I was worried because I knew we wanted to be together forever, even though we weren't going to be physically together in the same place for at least 4 years, which turned into 6. I asked in the journal, what if we don't like each other when we're actually in the same place and we can't handle it? And you perfectly responded, I think, Heather, if we can handle being apart, we can handle being together. And you were very right. This past year, being in the same place has been fantastic. And even though we've had more practice with the long distance part of our relationship than being in the same place, we could not have done it without all these people gathered here today. So to them and to you, I say thank you for being wonderful and making every day great. I love you.
Heather, I am so thankful that I have found someone who brightens every day of my life and laughs at all of my stupid jokes. Our relationship has stood the test of distance, and I know it will stand the test of time. I try to show you every day, and for me, it must sound like Mozart coming from a broken radio. But I never want you to live a second of your life without knowing that I love you, I love you, I love you. Nan no mayoi mo naku, mirai e susumimashou.
Heather and Tom will now together water a raspberry bush that they will care for just as they will care for each other. The water comes from each of their parents' homes, symbolizing the love and wisdom they've received from their parents that has allowed them to grow to be the people they are today. The waters will come together as one to nourish the plant. May it grow and strengthen just as your love for each other and your families. Bree and Tom Allen, friends and roommates of the couple, to read.
Tom and Heather have asked us to keep the following in our thoughts, prayers, minds, and hearts.
For all of the guests who have traveled here today from near and far, to celebrate this exciting day.
For the families of Tom and Heather, especially their parents, grandparents, aunts, uncles, cousins, brothers, sisters, nieces, nephews, and pets.
For those that are not able to be with us today, especially for Heather's Grandma Pat, Grandpa Victor, and Grandma Angie, and Tom's Grandpa Lawrence, Grandpa Mark, and Grandma Ruth.
For a speedy recovery and for a speedy and thorough recovery for all those recovering from mental and physical illnesses, that they may have the comfort and talents of those around them.
For a beautiful weekend and weekends to come, for Heather, Tom, their family, and friends.
For a fun time tonight to be had by all, and every night that friends and family are gathered together.
Thank you. Now, as Heather and Tom share a sign of peace with their family and friends, we invite you to also turn to your neighbor and share a sign of peace and love on this happy day. After 8 years together, 3 years of engagement, and so many adventures and love, time has finally come. You ready? By the power invested in me by the state of Minnesota and Olmsted County, I now pronounce you wife and husband. You may now kiss the bride. Honor to introduce Mrs. and Mr. Heather and Tom Corcoran. Thank you all for joining us. Please stay seated. Heather and Tom will come and dismiss you by row. And please join us for a picture by the podium at the end. Thank you.